Good morning, and is it still morning? Oh, it's afternoon now. How is everybody doing? I am just removing that. I am on to talk to you about the Superhuman Protocol. So some of you will have heard about it before. This is our kind of main protocol here at the Health Hub, which obviously I am now working in. Let me just organise this. So what I'm doing is I am trying it on my own body, obviously. Now, I didn't really start cold, so it's a little bit unfair in terms of, it wasn't like I'd never used biotherapies and then I suddenly started using them last week, because that's really not what happened. I've kind of the usual, done a little bit of this, done a little bit of that, did really the easy stuff, which is, and the kind of less time consuming stuff, which was mainly PEMF. And then I decided, why are you not doing this full Superhuman Protocol? Because you're now here all week and you can access the technology, because really that's what it's all about. And for those of you that don't know, when I found this place, which is my absolute dream healing centre, I realised we need these biotherapies all over the country, because they help people to heal. And I saw it. I've spoken to people. I was just talking to somebody right there at reception who had long COVID, post-viral, and she's doing the Superhuman Protocol. She started just with PEMF, and then she's done a few other things, but then she moved up to the Superhuman, was doing it once a week, and is now down to once a fortnight, and that's enough to keep her charged and feeling good. So I thought, right, I'm going to do it 3 times a week. Lee, who also works here, is going to do it once a week, and I'm going to measure with my devices and see what results we can achieve over time. Now, very often, what's really interesting straight away is, right, because really last week was my first week. And normally I've got the treadmill at just over 5 kilometres an hour. And that's fine. It's a fast walk. It's definitely not a run, but it gets my pulse rate up over 100. That's all you need to do. Then my grandson went on it, and I was laughing because he's actually full-blown running on it, trying to get his pulse rate up. He's at 16, 17 kilometres an hour, trying to get his pulse rate up over 100, because obviously he's super fit. And I was like, going, right, okay, it's actually incredible how far away from that level of fitness that I have dropped. But today I went on and I had to put it up to 5.6, right, to get my pulse rate up. And I was like, well, that's interesting, because the reason I thought I would try it is I've got a little ache in my lower back, a wee twinge in my shoulder sometimes, nothing life-threatening, nothing that spoils my life. A bit tired at night. I do a lot. I'm up at 5 in the morning, so I wasn't really concerned about that either. I've had chronic fatigue before, but that's not it. That's not what's happening now. What's happening now is I'm doing a lot of stuff from very early in the morning. By 4 o'clock, I want to go to my bed. Slight exaggeration, but you know what I mean. I switch off. That's always been the way. So when I woke up on Sunday morning, I was like, I want to go for a run. I was like, now I have not thought that in 15 years. I have to say, I didn't go for a run, but I thought it. It just came into my head straight away. It'd be nice to go out and do something quite physical. Now, since the menopause, I've stopped doing cardiovascular exercise. So that was really quite a thought to have. And then today I went on and obviously I had to put the treadmill up like half a kilometre faster. I mean, really? Because I've not been using the oxygen at all until last week. And I went on 3 times, and then today. So this is something I didn't expect. A, to want to run again. Definitely didn't expect that. And as I say, I'm probably not going to be doing it. But I'll use that energy for something else. And then B, getting fitter. Because that's, again, not what I was doing it for. But clearly, I'm like, wow, how quickly my body has responded to the 15 minutes on the treadmill. I'm really quite impressed that there's still a wee bit of bounceability in this body, because sometimes it doesn't really feel like it. And what I've been doing, I'm not going to show you the measurements yet. I will show you the measurements once I've done the full month. This is only my second week, because I want to see, as you get older, your HRV goes down. Now, my HRV is below 50%, which I don't really like, but that's just normally how it works. But you can look at the hormones, you can look at how the organs are working as their flow. What I'm interested to watch, because I'm not only going to do it for 4 weeks, but I'm going to talk to you about the results that I'm starting to see. And maybe I won't see anything particularly dramatic in 4 weeks. Who knows? But I'm using the Genius Insight, which is the voice print, because I'm very interested as to how particularly the oxygen affects the microbiome, because I know that it helps with any fungus, which is something I've struggled with my whole life. Struggle's a bit strong, but I've had candida on and off. If I take my eye off the ball, it comes back. And then the HRV machine to see if I can get my base level HRV up. So that's the two ways we're measuring. And then, but primarily, how do I feel? Yeah, we can give all the power to the technology. I'm going to use the biofield as well and look at the biofield viewer, see what colour I am at the end of the 4 weeks, so that we can start to see, because this is all very new, this superhuman protocol. It takes, you do 10 minutes in PEMF, around 20 minutes in the oxygen, warm up, and then 15 minutes, and then 20 minutes in the 360 Theralite bed. Now, I've been doing some research into Gary Brecka, kind of made this famous. Sometimes they just do 10, 10, 10, because obviously there's a cost in terms of time and money. And really what we all want to know is, how little do we need to do to get a good result? And then what does a maintenance package look like? So for me, I'm like, right, okay, if I can start to really measure this, and of course my body's going to be different from somebody else's. What I definitely can see, after I did the first superhuman, and I also did the back, the spine flexor, and I also did the far-infrared sauna and the river all in the same day, and I got a headache. Surprise, surprise, not. Why do you get a headache when you do that? Because you detox too quickly. Liver can't cope, so now I'm like that. You need to pack your liver, help the body get the toxicity through. So that's, it didn't bother me getting the headache because I totally knew what it was. But obviously, if you don't understand that, what you would normally do, and for people with long COVID, you can just start gently, and chronic fatigue, because you have to see how the body responds, because it's a little bit like doing some exercise. And if you have low energy and you spend it on doing some exercise, it can make you worse before you feel better. So we have to be mindful around people that are very, very low and vulnerable. But because every single body responds differently to the biotherapies, you may have one session, and we've seen this, and people feel quite significantly better. Now, the only word I can use to describe how I was feeling over the weekend was charged, because I was. 3 days in a row, PEMF, I like it. Yeah, you know, that's just me, my personality. Turn it up as high as it can go, get in the treadmill, start to really work that oxygen, and then obviously your 20 minutes in the Theralite bed. And the other thing I've been doing is the UVB, just 1 or 2 minutes in there. So I'll have to do this in my own body, because I can get the testimonies from people like that woman at the desk today. And of course, that's gold. But what actually is interesting me, which is what I hadn't thought about for me, was that I would actually want to go out and do more cardio exercise. Now, I can walk pretty far with my grandkids. I can go up hills. I'm pretty fit. I'm just not super fit the way I used to be. And I don't care. Fitness is not really part of my game plan these days, but actually it felt pretty good. I was like, I could start to feel myself getting back that little bit of buzz that I used to get, obviously always being around gyms and being fit and doing classes and all that stuff. Love that vibe. Love being with people that look after themselves as well. So yeah, that's very interesting. So I just wanted to hop on and give you, we're starting tomorrow with Lee, And we're looking at, obviously, from my perspective, you come here, if you work with me at all, if you've got any health issues, I would want you to be using the biotherapies as well, because you're going to get a better result. That's what I know. But we've just launched Health at Home for people that want to bring this technology into their homes. And what about into your community? If you got a community centre, you could do some fundraising and get this into a community. And what about into your business? Have you got a spare room in your salon, in your beauty place, or whatever you're doing, where you could put some of this technology? I believe if we can charge up 150,000 people over our country will start to change the energy, the collective energy, because that's what we have to do. We're all in this together. And it was interesting. Somebody was asking my son at the weekend, they used to come to our gym, what are you doing? And he said, I get fed up trying to sell health to Scottish people. And he said, and wanting them to get the results more. I wanted them to get results more than they wanted to get results. It's kind of interesting because, it's the change thing, isn't it, though? It's like, why are we not willing to change, to feel better, to feel more alive? And given, my mission to change the health trajectory around, we need to get to that critical mass of people. We're the sickest country in the UK and one of the worst in the world and in Europe. And that to me is completely unacceptable and avoidable. It's unnecessary. We don't need to be the sickest. We can make changes. So if we can, I know whatever's, that's too expensive, I can't do it, it's all right for you, blah, blah, the usual quack, quack, quack. I get it, but we're coming up with solutions. But I keep saying, I can't do all this myself. You guys need to get involved. These biotherapies are part of the solution for charging us up at a cellular level, so that when you start to feel a bit better, you'll make better choices and you can be proactive in your community. It's absolutely amazing what we can achieve. We just need enough of us to see it, to get it, and then, of course, to take action. Anyway, that is the update. Follow me and you will hear the story. This is week 2. I just did my first protocol this morning. My HRV's looking pretty shabby. So watch this space and I'll show you exactly all the data and all the measurements and hopefully you're going to see me getting fitter and fitter and stronger and stronger. That's me. I'll talk to you all soon. Watch this space.